Canceling student debt. How about that? 2020 White House hopeful Elizabeth Warren rolling out her higher education plan, calling to eliminate $50,000 in obligations for every person with less than $100,000 in household income. Joining us to discuss this further, former George W. Bush senior staffer Brad Blakeman and former Blue Dog Coalition and Democratic strategist Kristen Hawn. Thank you both for joining us today. Brad, let me begin with you. The question always comes back, well, who's going to pay for it? Well, guess what? It's going to be the wealthy with another tax. And, you know, I was looking at Elizabeth Warren's plans, child care plan, free, child care, housing plan, parts of a down payment for the Green New Deal, the free health care, all of this, trillions and trillions of dollars on the back of the wealthy. Your comments?
Look, there aren't enough wealthy to pay for all the free stuff Democrats are promising. This is akin to buying votes. It's akin to making America dependent on government. Look, when you contracted with student debt, you got a benefit of your bargain. You got an education that's going to give you the ability to make money and pay it back. I got a mortgage on my house. Why don't you give that to me? There's no end to what Democrats will do in the pandering to make people not only dependent, but also to purchase their vote. This stinks. Nobody should be for this. This is contracted debt. People went in with wide eyes, and they got a benefit for it. Hey, what about the insolvency that is looming on benefits that people have paid into but have yet to receive, like Medicare and Social Security? That's what we should be fighting for.
Let me bring in Kristen. Kristen, critics of this proposal from Elizabeth Warren also say, look, your vision is going to cost so much that forget just taxing the wealthy, taxes are going to go up for all Americans and really hit the middle class.
Yeah, I mean, I probably agree that there aren't enough wealthy people to pay for all of these things that she seems to want. However, you have to look at the goals of what she's trying to accomplish here, and to say that student loan debt is a burden on on thousands and thousands of Americans across this country, and there is something I think the federal government can do. I'm not saying that her way is the right way of going about it, but it's not necessarily just buying votes. It's talking about the things that are a burden on the American people, and they want their elected officials, they want their candidates for the presidency of the United States of America to be talking about the things that are difficult for them. And of course, student loan debt and also the cost of four-year college, is getting higher and higher, and it's a barrier to entry for a number of Americans. That's something else that she's trying to address. And that members of Congress should also be looking at.
Well, you mentioned candidates, Kristen, the more the merrier, or is it? Massachusetts three-term congressman and Iraq War veteran Seth Moulton jumping into the already crowded, and I mean crowded, it's packed, Democratic field for the 2020 race. Let me follow up with you, Kristen. I mean, not much known about this man. His credentials are actually very, very impressive. Harvard graduate, 4 tours of duty in Iraq. But, I mean, is this the right time for someone with his background to jump in?
I mean, having worked in the House, I actually do know a lot about Congressman Moulton. Yeah. He's incredibly impressive. Like you said, he's an Iraq War veteran. He's also not afraid to take on the president or members of his own party. If you'll remember, he's taken on Speaker Pelosi a number of different times. So I think that we're going to have a robust debate amongst these candidates. I appreciate his viewpoints. At this point, I think I think the more the merrier.
Brad, Mr. Moulton says he represents a new generation of Democrats. Let's talk about the old generation. No diss intended, but Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Who amongst all of this crowd do you think Donald Trump would like to go up against, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters, but I think the most dangerous is Biden. The problem is Biden left his party a long time ago. He doesn't recognize the party of today. The Democrat Party is in chaos. I remember not a long time ago, if you called a Democrat a socialist, you were defaming them. Now they get angry if you don't call them that. And Joe Biden is going to have to move so far left. And remember, you have to be selected by the party before you're elected by the people. I don't think any of them are electable. They're certainly selectable, but only to the left.
But Joe Biden jumps in. I think it's going to be 20. I'm losing count. But anyway, Brad and Kristen, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Much appreciated.